Hey guys, Kyle with ICI. Today we're going to be installing our rear bumper on a 2023 Ford Super Duty. This is the AL-RBM 01 FDN. This bumper will accommodate sensors. It's got backup light accommodations. This bumper also matches our Alumilite front bumper and side steps. This is a fairly easy installation that can be done at home with hand tools. Should only take you a couple hours to pull the rear bumper off, get the new aluminum bumper installed. A helpful hint on this bumper is removing the spare tire does give you quite a bit more room behind it. Makes tightening the brackets and wiring up the license plate lights a lot easier. All right guys, let's go ahead and start this installation. To begin the installation, disconnect your battery. Once the battery has been disconnected, you can begin unplugging the rear main sensor pigtail, license plate lights, trailer plug hitch, and any other accessories that may be wired to the rear bumper. Once all the wiring harnesses have been disconnected, go ahead and begin by removing the 4 bolts holding the rear bumper to the frame. There are 2 bolts on each side that will need to be completely removed in order for the bumper to come off of the vehicle. On the newer Super Duty, the 2023 and up, there are 2 additional bolts holding the bumper to the hitch assembly. These are located on either side of the factory hitch. Once all the bolts have been removed, go ahead and carefully remove the rear bumper. As you're removing the bumper from the rear of the truck, keep an eye out for any wires that may become hooked or bound around the hitch or bed. Once the bumper has been removed, begin removing the factory bumper brackets from the frame. Save all the hardware from the factory brackets to be reused when installing the Alumilite brackets to the frame.
Not doing too bad.
Now begin preparing the Alumilite bumper for installation. If your truck has factory backup sensors in it, begin by removing the sensors and wiring harness from the factory bumper. Be careful not to damage the sensor harness when removing any of the zip ties or push clips retaining it in the bumper. To remove the sensors from the bumper, begin by unclipping the harness from back of each sensor. Each sensor plug has a small lock that must be released before the sensor plug can come out of the sensor.
Up on that, and then you can squeeze it and unplug it.
With the harness completely removed, begin releasing the sensors from the bumper. This is done by gently releasing the sensor from the bezel from the inside of the bumper. Once the sensor has been removed, the bezel can then be pushed out through the front of the bumper. Using a small eyeglass style flathead screwdriver, you can gently press the retaining tabs on the bezel to help release the sensor. Be careful not to bend or damage these, as they will be reused in the Alumilite bumper. Beware of the orientation of the sensors. You'll want to put them in the same location that they came out of the factory bumper. Begin installing the sensor bezels into the Alumilite bumper. Again, you'll want to put these in the same location that they came out of the factory bumper. Once the bezels have been installed into the Alumilite bumper, install the sensors into the bezels. Next, begin prepping the truck for installing of the Alumilite bumper. With the provided brackets, locate the driver and passenger side bracket. This bracket will be installed into the truck, reusing the factory hardware from the OE bumper. Leave the brackets loose to the frame of the truck. This will help with installing and adjusting the bumper when you're ready to install it. Once the brackets have been installed to the frame, install the T-bolts into the Alumilite bumper. There's plastic retaining washers to help locate the bolts and keep them in place while installing the bumper. With help, go ahead and install the bumper to the brackets on the vehicle. With the bumper loose fit to the brackets, go ahead and check the orientation of the bumper on the truck, check for equal spacing and alignment. The most important part of the fitment of the rear bumper is to check for tailgate clearance. Carefully lower the tailgate and make sure that there is plenty of clearance between the tailgate and the bumper. Once the bumper is aligned to your satisfaction, go ahead and begin tightening the brackets to the frame. Once the brackets have been tightened to the frame, go ahead and tighten the bumper to the brackets. Double check that the bumper did not shift during tightening. Once the bumper is tight to the vehicle, you can begin installing the wiring harness for the sensors and license plate lights. The provided license plate lights will need to be adapted to the factory harness. The license plate lights will need to be installed through the bumper before being attached to the wiring harness. Route the wiring harness into the Alumilite bumper. Make sure the wiring harness is secured so it won't be snagged during driving. Reinstall the factory trail plug as well as the spare tire lock. Now the license plate can be attached with the license plate lights. Now attach the license plate lights to the factory harness. Make sure all sensors have been plugged into the factory harness. Go ahead and wire the license plate lights into the factory harness as well. Once installation is complete, double check the alignment and tailgate clearance. Then reconnect your battery and your installation is complete.
So hopefully your installation went as easy as ours did. Some things to consider is make sure that you check the hardware periodically. Make sure that you re-torque all the bolts after a few hundred miles. Pay attention to any shifting or moving of the bumper, and also double check your tailgate clearance. You don't want to drop your tailgate and have it contact that bumper at any time, and also accommodate for some flex in that tailgate if somebody was to jump on it or a heavy load was to be put on it. So just remember those things and you should be good. For more products for the 2023 Super Duty, check us out online at icionline.com.